Welcome, my friends, to another episode of Love Life. Hope we've been making choices and decisions that love you back, and you're encouraged to love life. I am Michael. I'm a person in long term recovery, co occurring with mental health and substance use disorder. My superpowers is PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder, and ADD is the amusement park I never intended to pay for. Also, healing on purpose from physical and sexual abuse during my childhood, teenager, and adult years. Once, I hope that you've had positive and productive experiences, whatever your healing journey commitment is. And today we'll be talking about reasons to uh, use and continue to use, meaning you might make it an excuse. So the first thing we will look at is prescription medication. We know opioids is considered an epidemic throughout the country. Prescription opioids, meaning those that are prescription narcotics. Narcotics affect prescription drugs from the doctor's office. We have um, most commonly it's with painkillers and patients, and if you often happens with recovering from a surgery procedure or other medical situations, you have a strong narcotic or painkiller provided, and then instead of using it properly, tend to misuse and abuse it because of the feeling that it provides, that it gives me, and maybe getting hooked on it, and so no longer using it for its temporary medical purpose of relieving the pain, more so to fill the void and to duplicate that feeling that it provides me. So, prescription medication, if you feel like you cannot manage it on your own, then someone you trust combine it to manage and disperse the medicine to you, that's something to think about. Um, it might be a sign that that you're not using it appropriately when you find ways to obtain more when you don't need more. So reasons that you start using, continue to use it. Prescription medication, something happened, and got introduced to a painkiller or opioid painkiller, and hope that for me, there's times when I had surgery, I'll share my experience that I let them know that I was a person in recovery, and so therefore they did not um, prescribe the opioid painkillers to me or pain relief to me, and that went little to nothing. It was either ibuprofen or just enduring the pain. Um, it was temporary for surgery. So then, um, then we may find ourselves sometimes when we feel lonely or isolated away from it, we're not connected to social activities, not connected to family in a positive way. We call it loneliness might be a reason, or isolation might be a reason why we uh, might go back to mind altering substances and mind altering activities that are detrimental for our life. Um, Feeling like we can't relate to others, feeling that we are misunderstood easily by family, friends, coworkers, um, may feel out of place. Uh, um, Feeling self not a good self image of myself, low self esteem could be reasons why I choose my alternate substances and my alternate activities to numb the depression that might occur. If I feel isolated, more than likely there may be accompanied by um, depression and sadness. And if that happens, um, one might find themselves leaning into mind altering substances and activities that are going to cause more harm than help. Um, and usually, when we temporary drug of choice, uh, for a little bit make us feel alive, but I think the consequence and the repercussions it has after that um, could be a challenge. Uh, and then another reason why one might use or continue to use mind altering substances and mind altering activities is um, the misinformation. Okay, mind altering substance and mind has consequences, has physical consequences when you use drugs, putting chemicals in our body, has emotional consequences, social effect on our finances, our money. Could to do certain addictions or habit, it takes what money, psychological repercussions, and so hopefully once we have experienced it, hopefully we live long enough to stop it, where the use, the mind altering substance, mind altering activity doesn't physically kill us, but we're able to stop utilizing harming habits and pick up helpful habits. Sometimes, despite the amount of awareness that are around us of the dangers of these usage of mind altering substances and activities, um, there is still a lot of misinformation, or I will say um, volunteered ignorance, because I like the way it feels. Can we just be honest? So I volunteer my ignorance to the information that how harmful it is to me in all those areas of my life. Um, and still I lean into my addictive thinking instead of trying to better myself. Also, misinformation easily, people say, impact young people. I think it's impact people that don't care to inform themselves much or form themselves properly. Um, so, but a lot of times, I think it's more easier to say young or youth because they're still coming in and maturing, matriculating through the classroom we call life. Um, and still gathering, and still accumulating life experience. Um, and sometimes people may see people use mind altering substances and mind altering activities, and they don't see any health concerns, or they don't see any repercussions on the surface, looking on the outside, looking in on the surface. And so, just from the distance observation, before one chose to experiment with mind altering substances and mind altering activities, and their first experience was something where it appeared it didn't bother, it didn't affect the emotionally, mentally, spiritually, go down the list. And so therefore, just observation, think about it. A general observation can be misinformation, or well, it doesn't hurt, so let me go ahead and try this. And so, yes, it sounds like something that wouldn't be an element to encourage one to use. But if you feel you can be invincible and overcome that, then one may try that. And I know I felt that in my years of my past experience and past of using my altered substance activities. I thought I could overcome. I was invincible. That I had control over that thing, um, and life showed me different. So, um, with all those things, let's review prescription medications. If you know how you have a personality that's codependent, it can easily become hooked on prescription, which is mainly the opioids, painkillers. Love yourself and care about yourself enough that you ask for alternatives, and you let your doctor know. And that's definitely, if you're a person that's in active recovery, or doing your best to stay um, doing your best to stay away from those things that you feel can cause harm to you, because we can easily go down that slippery slope of prescription medication, um, misabuse of the prescription medication, isolation. Find things. Hopefully, I hope you find encouraging people, places, and things, hobbies or activities outside of work or outside of school where you're at, whatever season of life, space of life you may be in. Hope you find something encouraging that redirects your thinking to something else. And then last but not least, misinformation. Hope you give a care enough to your life that you keep yourself aware of these things and you still have the choice whether to use mind altering substances or activities or not. Still have the choice. But I hope you decide to use things that um, builds your life, encourages you mentally, emotionally, and encourages you, helps you financially, helps us psychologically. So that is my biggest hope for you. So to next time, my friends, I hope we are encouraged, right, and we are empowered to make choices and decisions that love us back. So we are encouraged to love life. Till next time, my friends.